Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike and we are live. It is Friday, 1 p.m, 10th of November, and we are streaming across the universe today. Welcome to everybody that's in chat. Welcome back, Web3 Superstar. Welcome back, Hidden Agendas. Welcome back, everybody. For those of you that don't know, we've had a bit of a rough week. We've had problems with some of our streaming software and some of the platforms that we stream on, and it's been a bit touch and go getting back live as we normally do. So let's just say we are relieved, but of course reinvigorated, because it is Friday and we have an absolute mountain of stuff to go through. First of all, we are going to go through Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and ADA. We're going to take a look at what is going to happen. It's so difficult to not predict prices going up in these types of markets. So whenever you see these kinds of things, or I told you so's, or whatever, just bear in mind, these things do rip quite a lot at the beginning of the bull market. We're then going to look at Michael Saylor. We're going to have a look at Roblox as well. And something we've been saying on this channel for a very long time is we need interoperability between different games and different platforms, but we have a lot to get through. So the first thing we are going to do is crack on and get on to the markets, because we've had a cracking last 30 days. Bitcoin is up 34%, over $37,000 today. We're going to take a look at that, because what I said on the stream yesterday, which a lot of you won't have been here for, is that I predicted we would hit 38,000 and get rejected. So we're going to have a little look at that. We're currently sitting at 37,000. I do think we are going to push on and go higher. One thing to bear in mind, I know Web3 Superstar has been mentioning on Twitter that he's out of his bonk position, I believe. Congratulations on all of those gains. So the market cap is up again, another 2.5%. Volume is at $92 billion. That's double the normal volume that we have. Bitcoin dominance is starting to rise again, almost at 52%. And look at that, Ethereum dominance has gone up a whole 1%, from 16.9 to 17.8 in pretty much, what, 24 hours? I think the last stream we did was yesterday morning at 11. Good morning to Mr. Alberti, who I've been talking to on Telegram. I hope you are having a good day, and thank you for joining the stream. Don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps us out. So I don't even want to click on this 24-hour game, because I'm imagining that we're going to see some real rips. So Immutable X, we spoke about that yesterday. They've signed a massive deal with Ubisoft. We covered it on the stream yesterday. They are going to be building out a Web3 game. It's going to be amazing. Rocket Pool is up. Lido, Ethereum Classic. I don't know why anybody buys Ethereum Classic, but there we go. Frax, OP is up. Ethereum is up 10%. Why is that? I am going to let you know in about 10 minutes time. Any losers? Trust Wallet Token, PancakeSwap, XDC, Aave, Conflux are down. Remember, some coins will be down, but don't worry about them. In terms of PancakeSwap, it's profit taking. It's up 75%. Trust Wallet is up 40%. Aave is up 53%. Conflux is up 41%. You need to expect these kinds of profit takings when the prices have gone up so much. You've invested your dollars in Conflux. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's a relatively small cap, so there is a good chance that you'll do well, but I'm not going to go into that right now. We have a lot to get through. So the first thing we're going to look at is JP Morgan. Now remember, one golden rule when looking at anything that a bank says: do as I do, not as I say. JP Morgan has been bashing crypto now for around about 4 or 5 years, but they are going to start their They've got their own blockchain. They're going to start looking at ETFs. They're going to start looking at crypto products. They are warning of a crypto correction amid the bullish start to November. So let me try and make this. So the crypto market is off to a hot start in November as the rally that began in the middle of October has continued. We know about this. We know it's based on the Bitcoin ETF news. We know that the SEC have got themselves over a barrel right now. Why do they have themselves over a barrel? Very simple. They cannot come out and say ETF within the next six to 8 weeks. What's going to happen? People are going to buy in to ETFs now. They're going to front run them. What's happening in April or May? We're getting the halving. So everything is now, all these ducks, for the last 6 months I've been talking about having these ducks lined up. Inflation coming down, interest rates coming down, coming out of a recession, the halving, the Bitcoin ETF, a new a bit of the elections in America are coming. And just let me turn the volume off on this phone. There we go. So all the ducks are being lined up, and what happens when that happens? We're going to see massive pumps. I have switched, as Tariq will tell you, I have switched from pretty bearish at the beginning of October. I have now switched to bullish. The reason being is that we are heading towards the beginning of the bull run. Just give me a second. I appear to be having terrible lag. There we go. I think we're back. So the analysts led by Nicholas cited the prospect of the Bitcoin ETF approval in America as one of the two catalysts driving the momentum, but they said they don't see an approval bringing a new wave of capital into the crypto market. They must be blind. Instead of fresh capital entering the crypto industry to be invested, we see a more likely scenario existing of capital shifting from existing Bitcoin products such as the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and the Bitcoin Futures and the mining companies into newly approved spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, that's all well and good, but if they are invested in publicly listed Bitcoin mining companies and they take this money out and put it into Bitcoin, that still has an impact on the price of Bitcoin because Bitcoin is being bought. The halving reduces the supply of new Bitcoin by 50%. So if they sell the mining stock to buy Bitcoin, and there is not enough Bitcoin to buy, it's going to cause the supply shock of the century, and we're going to see a massive surge. So that's what I expect to happen. The second factor they highlighted as a driving force for recent gains is the victories for Ripple and Grayscale in their cases against the SEC. It is far from clear that the regulatory tightening of the crypto industry will lessen significantly going forward, given how unregulated the industry is. Now, I don't necessarily agree with any of this, to be honest. There is going to be new money coming in. There already is new money coming in. Look at the inflows into Solana. Look at the inflows into Ethereum, into Bitcoin. Look at how much the market cap of crypto has gone up in the last month. We have gained $300 billion. That money that has pushed those prices up has not come out of thin air. There is new money coming in. Only last night, there was an additional $1 billion of USDT printed. That's new money coming into the ecosystem. So don't think that these banks are necessarily right. They are not. They are trying to suppress the price as long as possible so they can buy as much as they can. Now, we're going to switch over to have a look at the price. Now, again, it's unfortunate that we haven't been streaming in certain places all week. But one of the things that I did say was we were going to touch $38,000. And if you look very closely, if you look very closely at the chart, you will see that we touched 38,000 and I believe $38. So we touched the price I said we would touch, and then we would get rejected and come back down, which we did. I was expecting us to have this kind of movement where we touch it and we come back down into this range. That's what I predicted yesterday. And that range was between 34.5 and about 36.30. As you can see this morning, Bitcoin doesn't really care what my opinion is, doesn't really care what the opinion of Gareth Soloway is. It just wants to do its own thing. I think potentially we could have another run at 38,000 today. And remember what I've said for the last few days, if we break 38,000, we're going to 40,000. There's no two ways about it. We've been spotting for the last, if I narrow this down, we've spotted for the last period of time that we've been covering this, we have been spotting this. It's bearish divergence. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care. Nobody cares at this moment in time. Bitcoin does its own thing. What Bitcoin wants to do, Bitcoin wants to do, and that's the end of it. So, very simply, we are in this channel. We've broken out of it. We've touched 38,000 like I said yesterday that we would, and we've come back down. We are probably going to have another run at it now. We're probably going to do something like this or something like this, and then eventually we're going to go to $40,000, which means Web3 Superstar is wrong, I am wrong, Brogan is wrong. We've all said 32 to 30,000 for the price of Bitcoin at the end of the year. It just shows you how much we know. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. I'm not going to spend too long on it because we've got a cracking amount of stuff to go through. And the big breaking news of the last 24 hours is this. If you've not seen anything in Twitter, if you've not seen anything in the news, this is to do with BlackRock filing for an Ethereum ETF. Again, I don't want to point out what we've been saying on this channel because what we've been pointing out is common sense. When the Bitcoin ETF gets approved, that is not the end of it. We are going to see a Bitcoin ETF. We are more than likely going to see the Ethereum ETF coming soon after. This is what's going to happen next. Ethereum. What's going to happen after that? There's either going to be one of two things happening. Web3 Superstar, you didn't say 38,000. You said 32, 34,000. I'll go and dig the video out. So what's going to happen after this? We'll have Bitcoin, we'll have Ethereum. Then one of two things is going to happen. They're going to create a basket of different cryptos, maybe Solana, maybe ADA, XRP. It'll be some of them. Or they will actually go further and create a Solana ETF. They'll create an ADA ETF and an XRP ETF. Maybe, just maybe. Remember that there's already a grayscale Solana product. That will probably be converted into a Solana ETF, so that's a possibility. All this is going to do is bring more money in. It's not going to detract from Bitcoin. It's going to bring money in to additional cryptos. You're going to have a portfolio which will have Bitcoin in it. You'll then want to have Ethereum in it. You then might want a basket that has Solana, XRP, ADA, those in it. So when you've got your, whatever they call them in America, your 401s or your whatever it's called in America, and in the UK, you've got your ISAs and all these kind of things, your pension pots. You're going to want to diversify and hold more than one crypto eventually. For now, everybody will want Bitcoin. But eventually, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, people will want to buy Ethereum ETFs They'll want to buy Solana, ADA, whatever it might be. That's just to help them diversify. It's the same with if you buy Shell. You don't want to buy Shell. You might want to buy Shell and BP and maybe Texaco and maybe Standard Oil, because you want to diversify within the industry. That's the same with crypto. You don't just want to hold one crypto. You don't personally want to have Bitcoin and nothing else in your portfolio. You want to have a mixed bag, so you diversify your risk as well. So they've filed for this ETF. The price is now at $2,100. Again, I said to Tariq last weekend, don't sell out of your positions because I think there's going to be a small pump coming. And unfortunately, Tariq, it was more than a small pump. It was a massive pump, because I think we were at 1890 on Saturday or Sunday when I was talking to you about it. And now we're at 2100. So the price has gone on a bit of a tear. So let me just very quickly, before we go any further, I'm going to drop some boxes. I think Web3 Superstar, you're going to have to go and prove me wrong. I am holding all the cards. I think you said 32 to 36,000 with me. But before we carry on, I am going to drop some boxes and some red envelopes. So if you give me a few minutes, for those of you watching in different places, we stream on crypto exchanges and we give out crypto on them every stream. So if you want to partake, we have links underneath for you to go to, and you will be able to get this free crypto as well. 1 second. And luckily for you, we have the man, the legend himself. Brogan is back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We are on. We are live on camera tomorrow. So Arfan, the box has dropped now on you. I'm going to drop the box everywhere else. Giuliano, the one thing to bear in mind about this is that it is like being put in front of a mathematical assault cannon, and all that happens is that eventually over time it's gonna sink in. That's what you got to bear in mind. Now for the chaps over here, I'm now going to drop a red envelope, so just give me 1 second to drop them. Right, that should now be done. 1 minute. There we go. Oh, hang on. Boxes have been dropped. So there should be red envelopes and red boxes everywhere now. Back to the stream. So, as we said, to do with Ethereum. Ethereum has shot up. It was always going to happen after Bitcoin shot up in price, and Bitcoin has its ETF approved. Ethereum was always going to be next. There was a really good question asked on Twitter the other day, and the question was, what's going to be the first altcoin to hit $1 billion? Because obviously, if we go back to the charts, you will see that Bitcoin is already at 722 billion. So only another 33% from where we are now will see Bitcoin at $1 trillion. So what's the next $1 trillion going to be? Well, obviously, Ethereum. If Ethereum 4x's from here, it will hit $1 trillion market cap. That's what I think could happen. Outside of those two, for me, I would look at potentially XRP being the one to hit $1 trillion. And that would be a 25x from where it is now. And I'm not saying that's going to happen in this bull run. It might take several bull runs to get to this. But just bear in mind that that's the next one for me. So I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP could be the first 3 cryptocurrencies to hit $1 trillion market cap each. That was an interesting question that I saw. So now that we know that Ethereum is on this path, it kind of makes a bit of a mockery as to the price action. So let's go and have a quick look at Ethereum. I need to update the menu actually, so we know what we are looking at. Give me a second. Again, as with a lot of these currencies, they've been in a channel above their bull market support band. So the bull market support band, for those of you that are new here, it's basically the moving average, which is this thing here. That's the average price of the cryptocurrency. And when you're beneath it, it's like being trapped under a sheet of ice and you can't get above it. You kind of can't get above, can't even get close, can't get above. Now, when you break it, it acts like a trampoline. So it goes from being a sheet of ice to keep you down to a trampoline. And then what happens is you bounce. Now, you don't normally bounce as high as we have. This is macro news. This is news outside. So if you look here, I had 1913 as a target to break. We are so far above that now. We've broken the very, very, very $2,000 for Ethereum has always been the holy grail. It's always been a price that I've considered to be a difficult one to get above. If you go back in time, if you go back, when was this? April. Look what happened in April. We went all the way up to pretty much the same level we've got up to. We've done the same thing. Now, do I think we're going to do something like this? Absolutely. I think we're going to come back down into this range again. That's what I think we're going to do. And again, I'm not an expert. So when you look at charts, 2 things to look at. You look at the technical side of the charts. You look at where is it in terms of its support band, but you also have to look at psychological barriers. Psychological barriers are things like Bitcoin breaking $100,000. That's a psychological barrier, irrespective of what a chart tells you. $100,000 or $10,000 for Ethereum or $2,000 for Ethereum, they are psychological barriers, and people will sell at $1,990 or $9,900, whatever it might be. So don't just look at a chart and see, oh, it's a pretty pattern. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. Okay, don't just look at that, because certain things will break it out of the pattern. Look at XRP winning the court case. It shot up, nearly hit $1, came straight back into its pattern. So I expect, and again, I'm just hypothesizing here, we're going to come back down to this range, this area here, this volume area profile here, where all the liquidity is at. I think we're going to come down here. And I think we're going to try and hold $1,900, which is kind of where we've been here before. So just bear that in mind. These spikes need confirmation. Otherwise, it's just going to fall back down again. And, you know, look, this area here, before we tried to get to 2,000, we didn't. We couldn't hold above 2,000. Is it any different right now? I suppose if we saw Vanguard and ARK Invest and the others applying for an Ethereum ETF. So I think to hold this, we need more bullish news. That's all. Now, how are we doing? 23 minutes. We are not that far behind for the show. You have a good memory for numbers. See, now what I remember that Julian said we were going to hit $60,000. So $60,000 was his target. I said 32. I'm sure you said the same price as me, but they're all different prices. Now we should have. Okay. So we've got XRP next, then we've got ADA and Cardano. So Brad Garlinghouse, I imagine this is about. Yeah. So Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO of Ripple. Ripple is the company in charge of XRP. And for those of you that aren't too familiar, XRP really isn't a decentralized cryptocurrency. It has a central management system. It's going to be used by the banking industry to power payments, cross-border payments. They're in talks with Brazil. They're in talks in Asia. They're in talks in Northern Europe. They are going to be a big deal. Also, some news that came out beginning of this week and last week, which I said at the time was massively bullish, is that countries are starting to look at using the Ripple platform for their central bank digital currencies. So that is massively bullish news for Ripple. That's when you can see a 30x on the price. Because if Ripple and its blockchain is being used by banks for transactions, is being used by countries for currency, then you are looking at a $1 trillion business. And that's the simple fact of it. Ripple is going to be a powerhouse. It's won its court case against the SEC. It's a legitimate business with legitimate people in charge. It has a great legal team behind it. Everything about Ripple is great. But bear in mind, it's not a decentralized crypto. It's not like Bitcoin. It's censorable. It can fall under the control of governments. Yeah, Giuliano, they've been talking to Brazil for the last 2 years, and they were waiting to win the court case before starting to release all this information. And also, if you look at the documentation that the banks agree on how they're going to operate moving forward, they are going. They have already got an XRP standard written into their documentation. So if you go and get documentation from any Swift or whatever other policy producer, you will see the XRP blockchain mentioned. It's going to become a protocol. There is. So the thing with CBDCs is that, I said this yesterday, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but countries will have different levels of rules for their central bank digital currencies. And some countries, as I've said, will have very liberal rules where they won't have any monitoring going on, and other countries will have more stricter rules, like China. But again, I'm not going down that route again. It's worth reading about because there's lots of things that Ripple will be able to do, and there's lots of things that Ripple will be able to do which can create a standard uncorruptible system to use. So it's worth looking at. I'm not going to go into it too much on here because I don't want to get in trouble. So Brad Garlinghouse offered his insights during a fireside chat with CNBC's Dan Murphy. Despite facing significant challenges, Garlinghouse pointed out the robust growth of the crypto market, which has gone up 20 to 30% this year. Of course, Bitcoin's gone up 120% now in the last 12 months. It's shot up. And we are at 1.3 trillion. His commentary comes at a pivotal time. As the industry is navigating through massive headwinds, it continues to show a promising upturn. Go on, what's he said? Come on. There's no magical window to see what drives crypto prices. If I had a magical window to see what drives the prices, I probably would quit this job and just go do that. The Ripple boss further noted that he prefers to take the long view. Totally agree. The thing with XRP is it is going to be I have a $15,000 portfolio, which I actually put $15,000 into in January. Now, I'm going to bring it up at some point on the stream so you can see. But part of that portfolio has Link in it. It has XRP, it has Bitcoin, it has Ethereum, it has some Algorand, maybe ADA as well. So it's a fairly, it's a conservative portfolio. But XRP is in there because XRP is going to pump. Now, the price of XRP, what we said, or what scenarios we said were, there's two ways XRP can go from here. We've been in this channel and we've honored this channel now for a month. We've broken out and look what we've done. We've come straight back into the channel. This is what I was saying about Ethereum before. There's patterns within charts that you can look at, okay? And those patterns help you to see the direction of a cryptocurrency. Now, if we zoom all the way out, and we go all the way back to the start of this year, this line was honored by XRP. If you look at what XRP did, it used this line as support, and it has bounced along this line quite merrily now for 11 months. Okay, so when you look at charts, you don't have to be the world's greatest TA, technical analyst. You just have to see and look for patterns, and that's what we do. We're not going to sit here and talk about precise fib levels. We're not going to talk about precise point of control or precise RSI or anything like that. We're just going to show you what we see in the charts. Now, and as you can see here, we found a second channel, which is obviously moving up. Now, the two scenarios where we would break up to 80 cents, that's where we wanted to go for XRP. Or we would come back down and move into this channel. So what do I see as the price action? I think we could come all the way back down to about 63 cents. And then at the top end, we're at 70 cents, 70 and 71 cents. That's what you should be looking at as your price movements. So longer term, I expect Ripple to go to at least $3 to $5, if not $5 to $8 in the next bull run. So you're looking at maybe 5 to 8x your money. But again, that's only based on past performance, not based on anything I would consider to be, I haven't got a crystal ball. Brad Garlinghouse doesn't have a crystal ball. It's not something I can guarantee. I'm just saying that based on where we've been in the past and trying to predict the future, I think XRP is something good to have a position in. Now, let's move on to one of my favorite characters in crypto, and that is the infamous Charles Hoskinson. Now, for those of you that like a little bit of different commentary on this, go and have a look at Charles and his search for alien artifacts at the bottom of the ocean near Samoa, because it's fascinating. He has tried to bring back dinosaurs from the dead, and he has been looking for alien artifacts. Yeah, I mean, if you had his resources, you'd probably do the same thing. You know, I've made my blockchain. I'm going to go for a break. What am I going to do? I'm going to go and find alien pellets at the bottom of the ocean. That's what Charles does, and that's why I like him, because he's eccentric, and you need people with a bit of character. But the one thing that people say about ADA in particular is that it's a little bit like a stable coin. The price action of ADA is a lot less than, say, the price action of Solana. Solana is up and down everywhere. Cardano is more consistent. It's more, It's more stable. And as I've said before on the channel, it's a prediction of things to come. So, you know, Bitcoin in the future is not going to move in terms of percentages, is not going to move the same way it does now. because when the market cap of Bitcoin reaches 3 trillion, it's very difficult to move it 10%. It might move 1 or 2%. And at some point, we are going to see gains in Bitcoin of maybe 5 to 10% a year. We're not going to see these tripling, 3-digit pumps. And we'll miss those days. When they come, we're going to miss them. We're going to miss Ethereum going up. We're going to miss Bitcoin going up. We're going to miss all of these. And Cardano is a sign of things to come, because Cardano has a massive community. They stake their coins. The project is about building and building. It's not about price action. It's about building something that's going to change the world. So I love Charles. He's a great guy. And Charles has come out. Let's make this a bit bigger so you can see. The Cardano boss shared a picture of him skiing in the pics. He is seen wearing a motorbike helmet and a good view of the sun, looking for the end of the crypto winter. Expectedly, his tweet prompted reactions from crypto enthusiasts who also anticipate the end of a lengthy crypto winter. Just bear in mind, every one of you needs to give yourself a pat on the back, because this is my 3rd crypto winter, and without a shadow of a doubt, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me financially. I went through the 2008 crash that happened when all the banks crashed. That was nowhere near as painful as this. This has been terrible. When we were scraping the $15,000 Bitcoin, that was absolutely gut-wrenchingly painful, because you knew we were going to come out of the other end. We knew we were going to come out the other end. We just didn't know when. And that's the problem. Now, I had a price target which I've set for Cardano, which was 36 cents. And we broke it. We're at 37.5 cents. We are above its moving average. If you look here, what did it do? And what do I always say it needs to do? It needs to come down, test for support, and then rocket up. What do I see happening now? Well, for me, 40 cents has always been if you go back in time, 40 cents has always been a really nice price for Cardano. There's loads of examples going back of where the price of Cardano should be. I've nearly drawn 666 on the screen. Raph will be thinking I've been taken over by the Masons at this rate. So I think we could have a bit of a cooling off period now. I think we're probably going to start to see something like this. And if we do this, what we're going to do then is we're going to create bearish divergence. So we could have a little bit of a retracement. Where could we come down to? I think we could come down to about the 35 cent level. So that's where I think we should go. You like Charles. Charles is honestly one of the nicest guys in crypto. He will be interviewed by anybody. He will go on and talk to you about crypto, aliens, banking systems, everything like that. He's a great guy. And if you look at what Cardano is trying to do, it's trying to take the education system and the healthcare system in Africa and put it onto the blockchain, which is great. It's a great idea, and once it's proven to work in Africa, it will then be used in Asia and other parts of the world. So Cardano for me, again, not financial advice. If I was going to have a portfolio, it would have XRP in it, it would have Solana, it would have ADA, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. That would be a conservative portfolio. And Cardano, again, I see Cardano, $3 was its all-time high. I could see $5 for Cardano. Again, not financial advice. So that's a 12x from where we are now. And that's 2 years from now, potentially. So 2 years from now, you 12x your money. I think Cardano is a good bet. In the short term, I do see a little bit of a cooling off for it. But again, it's very difficult for me to keep saying prices are going down when the prices are going up. because we could see this. We could see a breakthrough. We could even go up as high as 45 cents. It all depends. Everything now is tied to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is playing around at 37,000. We're going to have another run at 38,000. If we break that and we go to 40,000, everything's going to follow. So even though I've seen bearish divergence for 4 or 5 days now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. We've got macro news where everything is now starting to come positive. And you remember, you've got to zoom out on these things. Look at where we were. Okay, look at where the price was of Cardano. Look at that. So we are talking about a tiny little jump. Okay, but look at this. You know, we've got a long way to go. You know, we are a long way from home, Dorothy, and we have 2 years to get back to this. So we have 2 years to get back up towards, let's think of a nice level there. Well, there's a level there for you, $1.25. That's your first level. Then up here, you've got a level at $1.50. You know, you've got multiples. We've got multiples to go. So don't think that this little tiny short-term action can't come up here. We need to be doing this. That's what we need to do. So we're a long way to go. Long way to go. Now, let's crack on before we run out of time. Now, Michael Saylor is a legend in his own lifetime. Michael Saylor, for those of you that don't know, owns MicroStrategy. Sorry, he doesn't own it. He's the CEO of MicroStrategy. And MicroStrategy have been doing nothing but buying Bitcoin for the last few years. Okay, so his 158,000 Bitcoin treasury has already hit 1.2 billion in profit. A massive gain, massive gain. Now, people were saying at the pits of the bear market that he could actually be liquidated and his loans could be called in. It was, I wouldn't say it was touch and go to the point where he was going to have to liquidate everything, but I think that we were struggling. We were struggling at those prices. But actually, before we go any further, I'm just going to drop another red envelope and another box. Because it's very difficult to do all of these things at the same time. So I group them together. Remember, if you are watching us on an exchange, we give you free crypto throughout the extreme. Welcome back to the stream, Bitcoin Guru. Nice of you to join us. Thanks for coming. Remember, wherever you're watching us, the most important thing you can do is you can like the stream, love heart the stream, give us a follow, subscribe to the channel. All of those things really help us out, help us grow. Now let me drop a box in here as well. Just give me a second. So the more likes we get, the more followers we get, things like that. It just helps the metrics of the channel and helps us to tell people, you know, that we are slightly popular. And don't forget, we are watched by almost 6,000 people every stream. So it's not like we stream to 5 people and a goat. We do get some occasions. The Halloween special, we were watched by 8,000 people on that Halloween special. And we dressed up, I dressed up as Voldemort, and was my name, and Brogan was Harry Potter. So we do try. Now, unfortunately, on one of the platforms that we stream on, the chat is full of spam. So we never get to read what people say anymore until we get to the quiz, and then it seems to calm down. Right, let me drop this box. And then we will crack on with Michael Saylor. Again, I like him. He is good for crypto, but the one thing I would say about him is, and I would say about a lot of people, don't tie yourself to Don't tie yourself to one coin. And I think Michael Saylor has married Bitcoin, and he will not see outside of Bitcoin. So what I mean by that is, if you want to talk to him about Cardano and what that's doing in Africa, if you want to talk to him about Ethereum and that becoming the kind of the blockchain computer of the internet, he won't listen. He's only interested in Bitcoin, and that's to his detriment, in my opinion. So they've posted a 1 billion in paper profit thanks to Thursday's Bitcoin price gains, driven by the optimism in the markets. We know about this. By November the 17th, the top regulator of the country's markets could decide if it will issue approvals to 12 applications. We know about this. Recently, Saylor declared that the up-and-coming year will be pretty auspicious for the asset class. You're going to see 12 billion of natural selling per year converted to 6 billion of natural selling per year. So what I would say, especially for someone like is it Giuliano? Is this line here explains an awful lot about the halving. And what it means is there is $12 billion worth of Bitcoin being produced by the miners every year. And that $12 billion is only going to be $6 billion once the halving happens. So every block that is created on the Bitcoin blockchain, the miners are rewarded, and they're given Bitcoin as a reward. From May, that Bitcoin will be halved. So instead of receiving, let's say, 6, they'll receive 3, and they'll only have 3 to sell. So the selling pressure is being reduced at the same time the buying pressure is going to pump. So what you will have is you will have a supply shock. Now, I'm not going to go into it on here, but if you look at the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, I think it's 1.2, 1.1 million Bitcoin. If you take out 200,000 Bitcoin and you give it to the ETFs, you're suddenly at 900,000 Bitcoin left. Then you get the supply shock of not having enough Bitcoin. And that is when we're going to see a blow off top. And I've said this before, and it might sound a bit crazy. We might never see $100,000 again. In November 2025, we could be at $300,000. We will never see $100,000 again. We might see $180,000, $190,000, but we might never come anywhere near $100,000 if everything that could happen happens. So, by the way, yes, if you have any questions, ask them. Again, I try and keep an eye on all the chats. I can't see anything. I think I've just seen Elias in chat. Hello, Elias. Abdullah is in chat. I can see a few people in chat, but I can't see everybody on there. And in the other chat, we have Tom Hanks. Welcome. Bitcoin Guru, welcome. Please get the red envelope. It is for you, and if you could follow us, that would be amazing. That's what we want, really, is we need more followers and help us spread the good word. That's what we're here for. We don't really make any money out of doing this. We are here to try and help people as best we can. So other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum also rallied this week because of the ETF that we have covered. So Michael Saylor is $1 billion to the good. I think his average price is about $32,000. Is it $32,000? His average price? It doesn't say. But anyway, he has an average price of Bitcoin that he's bought in at. And I think he's going to be massively in profit. Good morning, Ismail. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the comments as well, Giuliano. That's greatly appreciated. As I said, as I'm going through the stream, ask any questions you want. And the last article before we get to the quiz. So I'll explain a bit about the quiz. The quiz happens at the end of the stream. It's a little bit of a cool down, winding down for a Friday. We normally turn a few platforms off at this point, but we're going to keep going, get through this as best we can. The Roblox CEO envisions NFT's future in the gaming space. Now, myself and Brogan have talked about this an awful lot. And let me just go through. I've got a few questions. So, do you think it is harder for new people to join the crypto world and the community is getting smaller? I say this a lot every couple of weeks, that if your friends come to you and say, have you heard of Bitcoin? The one thing you shouldn't do is laugh at them, and you shouldn't put them down, because we want people to get into crypto. We want people to come to crypto and understand it. And part of what we do on this channel is we try and make videos to explain things. So in the last few weeks, we've made a video about DCAing in, dollar cost averaging in. We've made a video about what kind of crypto portfolio you should have. We've made videos on all the different terms. We've made shorts on all the different terms. So we're trying to help newcomers to crypto. But the big thing is that everybody listening to this that's in crypto and have made all these massive gains, you are going to get called lucky. People are going to come up to you in the street and say, Dave, you've got Bitcoin, haven't you? And you'll say, yes. Oh, you're really lucky. Have you seen the price of it? It's at $100,000. Now, you know you're not lucky. You know that you got into crypto at the right time. You know that you've had sleepless nights, night after night, worrying about $15,000 Bitcoin when you paid $25,000 for it. You went through all of that for 2 years to come out the other end. And that is why you should put your arm around them and bring them to crypto. Not laugh at them or say, yes, I was right and you're wrong. Because these people who are saying you were lucky were saying you were a fool 2 years ago. So remember, we need to encourage people to come to crypto. And that means answering the same question over and over again. People will say that it's not real money. People will say it doesn't exist. All of these things. And all you have to do is very simply say, do you know that 97% of all the money in the world exists in computers? And only 3% of cash, only 3% of money in the world is cash. So just because Bitcoin is 100% electronic, the money that you use on the day-to-day is 97% electronic. There's no real difference. So in answer to your question, I don't think the community is getting smaller. I think what happens is that people who are in crypto for a long time don't appreciate how hard it is to get going. It's not like learning how to ride a bike. It's very difficult to get into crypto. And the best thing you can do, and hand on heart, the way I got into crypto is I watched every video I could find about it. And some of those videos were people talking rubbish, some people were talking sense, and then you start to follow the people that you like and you can listen to. And that could be George, Cryptos Are Us. He's a good guy to follow. It could be Gareth Soloway if you like charts, but don't necessarily agree with his price figures. It could be Altcoin Daily. There's loads of different crypto people that talk you through things. So I always say this, try and get everybody else's opinions and make your own. So don't listen to me and decide that I'm right. Listen to 5 or 6 people, and over time, Giuliano, it will click. Ismail, what do I think of Shiba? I think Shiba is going to do incredibly well in the next bull run. I think Shiba has a massive chance of doing well. You've got Shibarium, you've got its own DAO. They fixed the problems with it. In my opinion, it's better than Doge, and Doge is a top 10 coin. So I think SHIB is going to have a fantastic run. Now, I'm going to cut to the chase with this. What he talks about in this article is how you can have a game, let's say Fortnite, and you get a skin in that game. So let's say that skin turns you into Santa Claus. What he's saying is that you can leave Fortnite and you can go and play, I don't know, another game, Minecraft. And you can take the skin that you played in Fortnite and take that skin and go and play it in Minecraft. That's what he's talking about. And interoperability means at the minute you have all of these different spider webs, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana. You have all of these different spiders webs. And he is talking about bringing them all together and connecting them to make one great big spider's web. So you could take an NFT from Cardano and put it into a game in Solana as a very long-term example of what I mean. And that's, for me, myself and Brogan have been saying this now for over a year. I want to be able to play a game and win things and maybe buy things that I can resell in a different game or a different exchange, in a different blockchain. And that, for me, gives the power to the gamer and takes it away from the platform. And for me, that's the long-term vision. Now, I was talking to somebody on Twitter yesterday, and I said that the future of gaming for me is a blockchain-based AI NPC game with NFTs that you can buy and sell outside of that game. And that, for me, is the future of gaming. And you can apply that to every game. You can apply that to Fortnite, CSGO, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, anything. And that's where the future for gaming lies, in my opinion. We could go down the route of talking about AI and how you can make an entire game based on a game you want to play, but we haven't got time for that. We've got to get onto the quiz. So he's talking about a future where NFTs can go between games and you can buy and sell them. And I'm wholly on board with that. And the Ubisoft Immutable X deal that was signed this month is going to be world breaking. So that's the end of the articles. So it's never going to happen, but it will happen. It will happen over time because game producers will earn commissions and fees on the sale of those items that don't currently sell. So if you're in Fortnite, for example, and you pay your $10 a month, that's all they get out of you. If you suddenly have skins to buy and sell and they take 10% royalty fees, they get an additional couple of dollars a month out of you. So how are you going to bring it to Warcraft? Well, what you do is there's something called mapping, and you can map between blockchains. So, for example, what I mean by that is a skin. Let's say you have a Santa Claus skin. There will be a common protocol, and that common protocol will have common characteristics, color, layout, pattern, whatever it might be. So when you create that Santa Claus outfit, you create it as an NFT, and then you map it to the different games. So all the games have to do is map that skin within the game, and then that will allow you to have that skin within the game. Steam is huge. Steam's going to change its own opinion. Within Warcraft, you can it's the same thing. You can do the same thing. You can map a Santa Claus skin to Warcraft. You can have it to Fortnite. If it's, I can't say that on air, but let's say it was a wand. Let's say you have a wand in Fortnite and that's mapped to an NFT that can then be used in Fortnite, in World of Warcraft. It's all to do with mapping. It's a very simple thing to do. All you need is a common standard. That's it. Now, we're going to get on with the quiz. Now, for those of you watching, let me bring up the screen. The reason it's unique is because there will be a finite amount of them, and that's what makes it unique. So if you take Ninja, for example, they created a one of one NFT of Ninja for him to play in Fortnite. And if that skin was mapped into multiple games, Ninja would be able to play himself in multiple games. And that's where we're going to. So you would create an avatar based on your skins, and you would be able to play as yourself in multiple games. That's where we're trying to get to. You're right. I mean, it is dots on different weapons, but we need to get on because now we are on to the quiz, and this stream is supposed to last an hour, including the quiz, and we are past that hour. So I'm going to start on the quiz. Now, I know that a few people don't like the quiz, which is fine. You can leave now. It's not a problem. I don't have an issue with you leaving. But what I'm going to do is I am going to start. I'm going to keep the stream up for everybody, and I'm just going to run the quiz through because there are people on here that have never done the quiz before. So all you have to do is answer the question, and depending where you are, you will get free crypto or you'll get a shout out. So the first question is going to be, and it's an easy one, and then hopefully I'll be able to see some of the people in chat that I haven't managed to see all day, because some of these streams are just full of spam. Okay, first question, very easy. Is Bitcoin proof of work or is Bitcoin proof of stake? Just type proof of work or proof of stake into chat and away you go. Yeah, again, China, Taiwan, Asia, they are crazy for NFTs. Because don't forget, a lot of Asian countries, they're first movers, they're first adopters, and they get into things way before most of the people do. So, is Bitcoin proof of work or proof of stake? Drop the answer into chat. I'm hoping the regulars are in chat because I can't see them. It's a crying shame. One of the platforms gets spammed by bots and I can't see any of the comments. Whereas Giuliano, I can see his comments. Web3 Superstar, I can see his comments. Ismail, I can see their comments. I just can't see them on this one particular platform, which is a shame for them. 36 correct answers. The answer is, of course, Bitcoin is proof of work, not proof of stake. Faraz, welcome to the stream. Mohammed, well done. Chris, Stephen. Elian is here. Hello, Elian. Solo Sky is here. The regulars are here. Tariq is here. Crystal is here. So as soon as I start the quiz, the chat actually starts working. It's amazing. Congratulations to you all. Next question. Let's fire out a few questions and get you into the swing of things. Now, for those that are new here, I try to base the questions on the cryptocurrencies that we've covered in today's stream. So we will ask questions about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, things like that. So we do tie them in. I do that to see if you're listening. So this next question, What is the first name of the founder of Cardano? Just put the answer in lowercase. We've been talking about him today. I said he was one of my favorite personalities in crypto. Who is, or what is, the first name of the founder of Cardano? A big thank you as well. We are on 25,000 likes, and I think we've just passed 5,000 people viewing. Yeah, it's a lot of people watching today. It's good. It's nice. This was always going to happen, though. When the markets take off, our viewing figures go through the roof. We get a lot of people watching us. So yeah, we're at fourth. We're including all the different platforms. We've gone over 5,000 viewers for the day. So remember, the first name of the founder of Cardano. A lot of you are typing ADA. ADA is the native token of Cardano, and it's not the answer. The answer is the first name of the founder of Cardano. There we go. See, 10 correct answers. 10 correct answers. Who got that right? I'm hoping Tariq got it right. Solo Sky got it right. Nika Syed, well done. Of course, the answer is Charles. Charles Hoskinson was the chap that I was talking about. He's the guy that went looking for alien artifacts. If you want to know what the alien artifacts are, by the way, he found a load of little metal objects at the bottom of the sea that I think came out of a meteor, but who knows? Who am I? Next question. I'm going to stick with the first name. And again, I mentioned this person on the stream today. Remember, the answer has to be in lowercase. So what is the first name of the CEO of Ripple? The first name of the CEO of Ripple. I'm going to give you a clue. It's a 4-letter word. Can you let me know in chat what your username is? And then I can track the answers that you've given. Now, we're streaming on 6 platforms today, and I'm managing to watch 3 lots of chat. So if I haven't replied to you, I am wholly sorry. There we go. I think we are live. There we go. We are indeed live. Look at that. Hallelujah. Okay, so the live is working on multiple platforms. Great. So the answer to the question is Brad. Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO is the CEO of Ripple. He's not called Jacob. He's not called XRP. He is called Brad. But thank you for all. Sometimes the wrong answers are funnier than the right answers. Of course, the right answers aren't going to be funny. Right, okay. Right, next question. This is the easy question. A lot of people have been struggling. Okay, this is easy. So, there is a gentleman called CZ, and whenever there is a FUD post on Twitter, this gentleman holds up a hand with a certain number of fingers on it, indicating FUD. So what is CZ's number for FUD? Now, for those of you that don't know, FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's a term used mainly by people in the crypto sphere when they talk about, oh, it's a FUD piece, It's an article that's created to create FUD and panic and all those kinds of good things. Now, I'm going to ask one more question after this. And then I'm going to go because my voice is going. And we're streaming tomorrow at 11. And I need to give my voice a break. So that's one more question after this. And then we're going to shoot off. Excuse me. My voice is definitely going. So, what is the number for FUD? The answer is, of course, number 4. And 69 of you got that right. Right, who got that right? Sammy, Josie, Day Gabby, congratulations. Nooney, Skylar, Gino Bar, Linda, Tariq, you won a decent amount for once. Honey, Fran, MK, there you are. Well done. Jackal, Munaya is here. Tom Hank, are you watching me in more than one place? Anonymous, congratulations to all of you. Well done, everybody. Right, I'm going to do a chicken question. Now, the chicken question, for those of you that don't know, if you know the answer, don't answer the question until there's about 10 seconds left, and I'll tell you. Because if you give the answer and everybody gets it right, you're not going to win. So the chicken question, I only give out a few prizes for the chicken question. So it's not the normal amount. So let me ask this chicken question. If you know the answer, I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown to answer it. If you answer too early, you might not win. So the chicken question. Okay. Now, you're not all going to get this right, and this is the last question. I'm only going to give away 30 gifts. Remember, 70 people got the last one right. I'm only going to give away 30. The question is, what is the first name of the founder of Solana? You've got 60 seconds. If you know the answer, don't write it until there's 10 seconds left. If you break the quiz, most people won't win. I cannot say fairer than that. Nobody's got it right so far. Remember, this is the chicken quiz. This one's not meant to be easy. 30 seconds left. 25. The OGs in chat, they know this game off by heart. And they know when to answer. Right, I would answer it about now. 1, 3, 6. Normally it's about 11 get this one right. 8. There we go. That is how you play the chicken quiz. Congratulations. Who won? Tariq. Congratulations. Elian. How on earth did it work out these numbers? How did Elian win 5 and Karma win 115? How is that even right? Ridiculous. Anyway, the answer was Anatoly. Congratulations to everybody. I'm gonna go because my throat's going. It's 2:15. I'm gonna drop a box before I go, so don't leave for a second. Where are we? So I'm gonna drop a box. I am back at 11 o'clock with the one and only Hollywood. 1 second. I'm just going to type in these boxes and then I will do the outro. It's so much more difficult when that you've got one person and 6 streams. Right, okay, so the box is dropped there. I'm going to drop a red envelope somewhere else. Right. And go 100, 10. Go on, work. Okay, 1 second. Right, boxes have been dropped. So, in the outro, we are back tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will be back on camera with Brogan. We will go through all the news on the Saturday. That show goes on for ages, so don't worry about that. Giuliano, thanks for coming to the stream. Take care of that voice. Thank you. Thank you to Web3 Superstar. Ismail, thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the stream. Don't forget, go and find us in all the right places you would expect to find amazing content. So go and look for Crypto Warehouse. Give us a follow. Smash the like button. Well, I appreciate all of you. Thank you, GM Sar. Thank you, Bitcoin Guru. Tariq, Giuliano, Elian. Too many people to mention. I will see you all in the morning. Take care. Great to be back. See you later.